Hi everyone, welcome to another edition, a first for many of you, for Scoreboard Football II, the card game of football. It's a possession-based game if you've watched our other videos that we've had on the game, but this lends itself to now a possession-based game using playing cards, typical playing cards, or there will be a dice version that you can play with the game if you want to alternate. Right now I'm in the middle of my Pigskin Football League. It's a 10-team fictional football league, and I've been rotating weekly between playing cards and dice because it adds two different flavors and I can't really tell which I like more. I love using playing cards, but there's nothing like rolling a good set of dice. But those of you who've been playing with Scoreboard Football II realize that you have to use both in the game. The cards will tell you and dictate the possessions, and the dice will usually dictate who scores and what type of score it is. So let's get to it. Pigskin Football, it's week 7, big game here. It's the two division leaders, the Pasadena Stars, taking on the St. Louis Arches. The Stars come in with an unbeaten 6-0 record, and the Arches are at 5-1, but there is going to be a major discrepancy in this matchup because the ratings are such where Pasadena is an ace to 6 in scoring, which is good. That means anything from an ace to a 6, red or black, is going to score them, and the Arches are just an ace to 3. That means an ace, 2, or 3. However, here's where it gets dicey. Both teams have stout defenses. Both teams will subtract 2 from their opponent. So in this matchup, Pasadena is going to be an ace to 4 to score. St. Louis, unfortunately, goes from an ace to 3. The Stars have a -2. So they're actually just going to score on an ace. So that means ace red, ace black. It's going to be hard for them to score today. That means they're going to have to take chances in their games. They're going to have to go for it on 4th down. They're going to have to go for it late in the game. And if they can get that, they can increase their scoring chances on those possessions. As you know, that's how Scoreboard Football II works. So let's get to it. Let's dive into it. We've got Pasadena and St. Louis. We're going to roll right now to see who gets it. Pasadena will be the black, St. Louis will be the red. And the roll is a 5 for Pasadena and 8 for St. Louis. So the Arches get the toss, but they're going to defer to the second half. So that means Pasadena will start things out. Here we go. Again, how we work it, I'm going to just roll on through it. We're not going to explain the game too much, but we're giving you a flavor of how Scoreboard Football II plays. So the first flip will be for a kickoff return, which must be a joker in order to return it. It's a 9, so there's nothing there. So now Pasadena's chances to score is an ace to 4. Either way, here we go. It's a 5. 5 means it's a missed field goal. So Pasadena misses a field goal right off the bat. And of course their field goal kicker is Loris Longo. Loris Longo misses the field goal. And because of that, St. Louis has a chance to return it. And for a return for them, they're going to need a ace or 2 will be a kickoff return on the missed field goal. It's an ace. They score. So how about that? Right off the bat, St. Louis scores on a return touchdown. Touchdown, return TD off the missed field goal for St. Louis. Surprise, surprise. They could be underdogs and do well on the first drive of the game. Okay, so now we've got to roll to see who returned that for the Arches. And we've got 9 possibilities. So we're just going to roll between a 10-sided die to see who gets it. The extra roll, the 10, would go to one of their strong guys. In this case, we would say it's probably going to be, they've got all 6s all sixes here for the defensive players. So we're going to say Jasper Richards, the safety. It's a 2, so it's going to be Amula Santaro. Amula Santaro, the defensive lineman, returns it for a touchdown. Amula Santaro. The extra point by St. Louis is up and it's good. The only misses are on a king or a joker. Extra good. And the score is St. Louis 7, Pasadena nothing. Now, what we normally do in Scoreboard Football 2 is we can roll for yardage on kickoff returns or touchdown passes or runs. But in this league in particular, I wasn't so concerned because it was our inaugural season with yardage. But the game is set up for you to roll for yardage. And I also have charts now where you can roll for the yardage in the game so you can get individual statistics after the game to give you that entire flavor of the game. So you don't just play possession by possession, but now you get the entire icing on the cake, if you will, for Scoreboard Football 2 as to what happened in the game. So Pasadena missed the field goal. Loris Longo, it's returned by Antonis Arias Santaro, Amula Santaro, and St. Louis has the lead. So Pasadena now will get the next possession. And just to let you know, we're not playing with timing in this because there are now 2 ways to play Scoreboard Football 2. With timing, where you can roll for it, but I tend to think that just lags the game a bit. So I'm just rolling. Each team gets 2 possessions per quarter. In the second and fourth quarters, they get an extra possession each, but you've got to roll to see if that's taken away because of timing. And then there's a chance that each team could gain 1 possession each, or there might be just 1 possession at the end of each quarter. And that's by flipping a card or rolling dice. And we'll get to that. So Pasadena gets it. Here's the return. Nothing on the return. So here's they got a 1 to 4 chance, ace to 4, and they get an ace, so it's a touchdown. Red is a touchdown, if you know. Black is a field goal within that scoring distance. But remember, if it's an ace or 2 black, you got to flip again, because if it's a face card, that field goal then turns into a touchdown drive for the offense. But we've got a touchdown by Pasadena. They're going to roll here. Roll to see how it was scored. It's going to be a simply 10-sided dice, is it? Yes. If it's a 1 to 4, it's a rushing touchdown. 5 to 10 is a passing touchdown. It's a passing touchdown. So it's a passing touchdown from quarterback Sean Anderson. TD pass. Sean Anderson. And we're going to roll a 12-sider to see who it goes to. Again, this is all figured out in the Pigskin Football League. You could easily do this. In Scoreboard Football 2, it has you to go to the Pro Football Reference or College Football Reference, go to the team, and there's a chart for determining how they score. Okay, you just flip or roll the dice, and then you go to that column that has touchdowns for the team, and then you just count down which one it was. If it's a third rusher touchdown or a third rushing receiver or whatever it is, that is who scores. Very simple. So 10, we have 10. So Sean Anderson throws a touchdown pass, and that goes to tight end Colin Stanley, one of the fine tight ends of the league. So to tight end Colin Stanley. And the extra point attempt, Jack or Joker misses, it's good. So Longa makes up for his mistake. And the score now is 7-7. So we got ourselves a ball game, folks, as we expected. These are the 2 best teams in the league. That's why I wanted to bring this game to you, as it's the battle of division leaders in the Pigskin Football League. So here's St. Louis now. Their first drive. Queen, that's nothing, so they get nothing on the return. They needed a joker. Now their chances of scoring is just an ace. It's a 10, it's no good. That means they're going to punt. Okay, so they're going to punt away. They could have gone for it, but not in this position, because had they not earned the fourth down conversion, then Pasadena would have had a chance, because Pasadena then, their chances to score would increase by 1. So there is a gamble when you decide to go for it on fourth down anytime during the game, or if you want to convert a field goal and try to turn it into a late drive touchdown in the fourth quarter. And then again, if you miss on your gamble, it improves the chances for your opposition to score. So the punt is in. Here's the return. 8 is a block punt. 8 is a block punt. And a return is I believe it's let's see, yeah. Block punt is an 8. Then they can return it on an ace or a 2. A joker is a punt return touchdown. Here we go. It's an ace, so nothing there, nothing on the return. So St. Louis now, they punt it. So Pasadena with the football again, dominating the first quarter here. Here we go. And Pasadena 8, that's no good. That's not a punt. That means they did not score. So they will punt the ball. And their punt is a joker. That's a rare play. So we go to the joker. So now we flip the next card to see what the result is. It is a jack. And here it says jack. It is a safety. It is a safety on the punt. Okay, so that is a score for the opponent. So they were kicking off. So apparently it was deep in there. They punted the ball away. It got stopped for a safety. So it's 2 points for St. Louis. Safety, St. Louis. So it was deep in their possession, and Pasadena gives it up. And now St. Louis is up, surprisingly, 9-7 in this contest with a rare safety. Now we've got to roll to see, is there going to be a possession? Do we get an extra possession or not? All we do is roll 2 10-sided dice. Doubles count for 2. A sequence, that means like a 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, gives you 1 possession. Here we go. And it's a 6 and a 1, so it's nothing. So we're at the end of 1 quarter. The score, St. Louis 9, Pasadena 7, and St. Louis has the football to start the second quarter. Now, before we start the second quarter, we've got to decide, are we going to leave these possessions? Did they get 3 each automatically or not? We flip a card here. If it's a K or 2, king or 2s, then you would not get the extra possession, extra sequence. Okay, so it's a K or 2. Here we go. And it's an 8, so it doesn't matter. So St. Louis with the football, here we go. They need an ace, of course, as you know. They don't get it. So again, they're in a punting situation. They're going to punt. They're going to play it safe right now. They punt it. No block or anything else, so it's a safe punt. No return. So Pasadena now with the football. Here we go. Pasadena with the football. Again, ace to 4 for the Stars. And they'll score something. Here we go. It's a 6. It's no good. It's a 6. It's no good. So Pasadena will now punt. They're not going to take any chances. Here's their punt. It's a jack. It's fine. The return, of which you can see, that's the punt. We're good. So now St. Louis gets the football, leading 9-7 in this thriller. It's a low-scoring game. We thought it would be. 2 great defenses here. St. Louis needs an ace. They don't get it. They're going to punt. They're just not going to take any chances. Just punt the ball away. Pasadena now with the football. Let's see what happens here. Pasadena, queen, nothing. So they're doing nothing. They're going to punt the ball away. Pasadena, 3. Nothing there, nothing on the return. St. Louis now with the football. St. Louis needs an ace. Nothing there. See how the game goes relatively quick, especially in this one, which, again, the chances of scoring are ace to 4 or ace. So unless there's a turnover on a king is either going to be an interception or a fumble. Missed field goals are going to be the one after the chance to score. So if in this case, Pasadena is an ace to 4, That means any 5, red or black, is a missed field goal. And that's how the game plays. So Pasadena with the last possession before we see if there's extras. Here we go. Pasadena, a 7. That's not going to do it. They're going to punt the ball away. Okay, let's see again. Extra possessions, we're rolling again. Doubles get you 2, so that would be 1 possession each. If it's a sequence, that would be 1, and St. Louis would have a chance to close out the second quarter. Here we go. It's a 4-4, it's double, so we get an extra possession for both teams. So both teams will get the extra possession in the second quarter. St. Louis goes first. Again, they need an ace. They got it. How about that? St. Louis scores, and it's a touchdown. St. Louis scores a touchdown. Let's see how they're going to do it. They roll. It's a 3. St. Louis, that's a 1-5 is a run, so it's a TD run by St. Louis, and the arch is surprising and could upset the undefeated Pasadena Stars. So it's a touchdown run. They roll the 12-sided die to see who. Number 9, it goes to, in this case, it goes to rushing 8. It's going to go to Vic Fox, the quarterback, Vic Fox. Scores the touchdown for St. Louis. Here's the extra point offered by Alonzo Shelton. It's good. So Alonzo Shelton gets the extra point. And St. Louis extending their lead before halftime. They are now up by a count of 16-7. And that's kind of a shocker because I really thought it would go the other way because St. Louis their only chance was an ace. Let's see if Pasadena could score before halftime. Here we go. 3, nothing on the return. 1 chance. Ace to 4 is what they need. They get a 9 now. So they're gonna close out, and we're gonna say time expires on the Stars. So at the half, the score, St. Louis 16 and Pasadena 7. As we're going to shuffle the cards. We shuffle our cards once per half. That's it. We're using 2 decks of cards. So just to explain how things work, we already told you what the scoring chances are. Ace only for St. Louis. Pasadena is ace to 4. All right. And we know that there are 2 decks of cards and 2 jokers in these decks of cards that we're playing with. We've seen no turnovers in the game. It's been a clean game. A lot of punts. Teams, I generally like to have them start taking chances in the second half. Because if you take them too much in the first half, if you take a few and you don't get them, you're just setting up your opponent to score and take a big lead. But in Scoreboard Football 2, we see a lot of comebacks a lot of times. Again, you can play it how you want. This is base Scoreboard Football 2 for solitaire, but it can definitely be played with 2 players because there are decisions to make, whether or not to gamble or not. So we're good to go. We've got the shuffling in. St. Louis will start the third quarter with the ball and the lead. Here's the kickoff. Again, they need a joker. They don't get it. Ace only. They don't get it. So they're going to punt away. They got a comfortable lead by some standards. It's a punt. Here is the return or the block. Nothing on the return. Again, they needed a joker to get that and did not get it. So Pasadena will start. Here's their possession. They need ace to 4. 7's not going to do it. But Pasadena, no, they're not going to gamble yet. We'll wait. We'll wait. As we get later in the third quarter, we'll gamble then, I guess. St. Louis now punt. Here is there a return or anything? Jack, no. So they don't. The punt's there. Here's their possession. They need an ace. They didn't get it. All right, so they're going to punt now. Punt is a 7. They're punting away, not taking any chances. This is the last possession of the third quarter unless we roll for it. Here's Pasadena, ace to 4. They still don't get it. You know what? They're going to gamble now. They're going to gamble and go for it on 4th down. Now to show that, it's very simple. Fourth down conversion. They need to draw a jack, a 10, jack, or queen. If they do, they get the first down, and their score chances increase by 1, so they would go ace to 5. If they don't get it, St. Louis takes over, and they get a 1 chance for an increased score rating. So here we go. They need a 10, jack, or queen. They get a 4, no good. So it's a fourth down, turnover on downs, +1 score for St. Louis. Again, that's not much. So you could afford to gamble if you're Pasadena. So here we go. But we got to see if there's extra possessions. We might go to the fourth quarter. Again, we need doubles or sequence, or else we're going to the fourth. We get a 4 and a 3, we got a sequence. What does that mean? There's 1 possession left. St. Louis gets it. So St. Louis gets it, all right, with a chance to score on ace or 2s. The draw is a joker. So now we got to draw another one. We got a joker. Here we go. Joker, and it's a 6. A 6 off of a joker chart is an interception or fumble. Black is an interception. Red is a fumble. Here we go. It is a fumble. So, big play there. St. Louis fumbles the football. Let's roll to see who fumbled it. So it's going to be one of the running backs or the quarterback, and it's 2. It's going to be Nico Fletcher, their #1 rated back. He fumbles. So Fletcher fumbles. A chance for Pasadena now to score. Pasadena scores on an ace or 2. It's a 5, so it's nothing. But because they recovered it, they get a +2 chance. A +2 chance on their score rating, I believe. Let's see, is it +2 or +1? Let's see. My bow turns. Okay. I believe it's +2. Let's see. Missed field goals or blocks now. As we look at this, let's look over here. Let's see what it is. Otherwise, the score rating and blocked interception. Let's see. Interceptions. Otherwise, score rating increases by 2. Increases by 2 on their next turn. So, that's good for St. Louis. Well, not good for St. Louis, but it's good for Pasadena. They will go. So there was no return on the play. No scoring return, but a +2 drive now. Score chance for Pasadena. Now, what's Pasadena going to want to do? I'm going to tell you right now. Pasadena will take that advantage. So they're going from an ace to 4. They go to ace to 6 on this drive only to start the fourth quarter. And what you want to do here is you want to milk it. So if you don't get it, you probably may as well go for the downs, go for the fourth down conversion, because if you get that, now you've increased another one. So you go from an ace to 6 to ace to 7. Again, if you lose it, what do you lose? You lose 1. 1 chance that you've given your opponent when they're only an ace to begin with. They've got 1 chance to score. So Pasadena is going to start the fourth quarter trailing. Nobody scored that quarter. So trailing 16-7. 16, is it? Yes, it was 9. So trailing 16-7. Here we go. Pasadena. But before we do that, we've got to flip a card to see, are we taking any of these possessions away? Again, what's going to happen in each half? Okay, if it's a king or a 2, we're going to lose the possession. We're taking them away. A king or 2. Here we go. It's not. So each team gets the extra possession. because you figure they hurry up in the second quarter, hurry up towards the end of the fourth quarter, and again, that should speed things up. Not as long of a drives, and therefore you grant the extra possessions. That's what makes Scoreboard Football 2 very exciting. If you play without the score or the timing mechanism, which the timing mechanism is fine, folks. It is fun, and there are timeouts involved that you can use to close the gap and make it go quicker in terms of the drive. It shortens the length of the time of the drive, but again, it is a little bit time consuming because you're rolling extra dice on each possession. That's why I like this. It flows a lot quicker. Okay, so Pasadena starts. They're trailing 16-7. Their undefeated season on the line, and here we go. Remember, their score chances are increased. It's ace to 6. Queen, they're not going to get it. But again, what are they going to do? They're not punting. They're going for it on fourth down. What do they need again? 10, jack, or queen. Here we go. Jack, they get it. So fourth down conversion for Pasadena. So that increases their mark by 1. So they are now ace to 7 to score. Here we go. Ace to 7. Ace to 7, touchdown. Touchdown, Pasadena. They're going to roll to see how they scored. They get a 1, and that's going to be a touchdown run for Pasadena. TD run. Let's find out who it is. And we roll the dice. It's a 7. So 7 right here is going to be the quarterback, Sean Anderson. So quarterback Sean Anderson scores the touchdown. He threw a touchdown pass earlier. Here's Longo for the extra point. It is up and good. So we got ourselves a ball game, folks. We are now St. Louis on top because of that safety earlier. They lead at 16-14. Pasadena could have gone for a 2-point conversion. A 2-point conversion, they would have got it on a 10, jack, queen, or ace. But instead, not going to risk anything. St. Louis will have the football. Here's the kickoff. Nothing there. Remember, they need an ace to score. 6, that's not going to do it. They're not going to risk anything, so they're going to punt the ball. Here's the punt. 8, it's blocked. The punt is blocked on an 8. It's blocked. What does that mean? They're going to try to return it. Pasadena will try to return it on an ace or 2. They do not return it. But again, what do? They get a scoring opportunity. Their score rate increases. 1 on a missed field goal, 2 on a punt. 2 on a punt. So here we go. +2 score chance for Pasadena. A chance for them to get back in the lead. Here we go. Again, now they are ace to 6. They were ace to 4 for the game, ace to 6 here. Here we go. 2. It's 2. It's a black 2. What does a black 2 mean? It is a field goal. However, the rule states if it is a black ace or black 2, you flip the next card. If it's a face card of any kind, it's that field goal's been converted instead to a touchdown. Otherwise, the field goal remains. Here we go. It is a 6. It is a field goal, and they'll take it. So Loris Longo kicks a field goal. And Pasadena now leads the game. Pasadena 17-16 in a thriller. St. Louis now, they're going to have to start gambling because one, you're looking at 1-2 possessions for sure. But again, they got 1 chance to score, and then we may have the extra 2 possessions. We'll have to see if we roll for them. Here we go. St. Louis, they need an ace. They get a 2. That is a missed field goal. They're not going to do that. They're going for it on fourth down because they don't want to gamble, and Pasadena increases their score chances. So here we go. So they need a 10, jack, or queen. They don't get it. So they lose it on downs turnover on downs for St. Louis, but that does draw and gives a one possession, a one chance score opportunity, add one score chance for Pasadena, which now makes them a 1-5. Here we go, 1-5 late in the game. Pasadena 9, no good. They're going to punt. They're not going to take any chances. So they're going to punt. Here's the punt. It's a 10.